Hi everyone, welcome back. My name's Gary, and once again, I'm your host for today. And just one more time, I happen to want to talk about business with you guys one more time. Notice, as I said before, we're not gonna talk business, we're gonna talk about business, all right? Maybe in the future we can talk business, but let's talk about business today. So, without jokes and further ados, let's stay together and go to it. All right. So, as if you have good memory, if you listen to the previous episode here, you will remember that I was talking about recruitment and hiring in companies, meaning the way companies go after employees, future employees, talk to them, interview them, and select them ultimately for their companies. So, in this episode, I'm going to talk about once you're in the job, okay, recent or for years, what does it take for you to stay there as long as you want, as you need, or to make sure that this will happen, or even ultimately to make sure you're doing a good job, to make sure you're doing your best. How does it work? What is necessary? What does it take for it to happen? All right. Today we're going to talk about skills and qualifications. All right, that is the abilities, the set of abilities and knowledges that you use to perform in your workplace. All right, the set of knowledges and skills and information you have and you can use when and if necessary at any given moment during your working routine. All right. So starting off with education and training, we're going to read the short stories, not necessarily short stories, but the short statements of three people. Okay, Margarita, Nils. All right, actually two people. Excuse me, Margarita and Nils. Okay, and their statements, meaning their thinking, their opinions about the education and training according to their working experience. All right? Okay, starting off with Margarita. Quote, "The trouble with graduates, people who've just left university, is that their paper qualifications are good, but they have no work experience. They just don't know how business works." Nils, quote, "I disagree. Education should teach people how to think, not prepare them for a particular job. One of last year's recruits had graduated from Oxford in philosophy, and she's doing very well." Margarita replies, "Philosophy is an interesting subject, but for our company, it is more useful if you train as a scientist and qualify as a biologist or chemist. Training for a specific job is better." Nils, "Yes, but we don't just need scientists. We also need good managers, which we can achieve through in-house training courses within the company. We have put a lot of money into management development and management training because they are very important. You need to have some management experience for that. It's not the sort of thing you can learn when you're 20. Okay, note. In American English, you also say that someone graduates from high school, all right? The school that people usually leave when they're 18, okay? In other places, usually they say they only use graduation when you're graduating from a university, all right? So in this second part, we're going to see the difference between skilled and unskilled. A skill is the ability to do something well, especially because you have learned how to do it and practice it. Jobs and the people who do them can be described as highly skilled, for example, a car designer, skilled, like a car production manager, semi-skilled, like a taxi driver, and unskilled, for example, like a car cleaner. You can say that someone is skilled at and then a noun, okay, a word. For example, someone is skilled at customer care. Someone is skilled at electronics. Someone is skilled at computer software, or skilled in plus the word plus ing. For example, somebody is skilled in communicating. Somebody is skilled in using PCs. Someone is skilled in working with large groups. You can also say that someone is good with computers, good with figures, good with people. So these are the main ways that you can describe people's skills and abilities as employees and as colleagues, work colleagues. All right? The right person. These words are often used in job advertisements. Companies look for people who are self-starters, proactive, self-motivated, or self-driven, meaning good at working on their own. Methodical, systematic, and organized, that can work in a planned and orderly way. Computer literate, meaning good with computers. Numerate, good with numbers. Motivated, very keen to do well in their job. Talented, naturally very good at what they do. Team players, people who work well with other people. So these are the set of words that I'm bringing here from a Cambridge University material, okay, called Business Vocabulary in Use. And I pretty much believe that when you're talking about your skills, your qualifications, this is the main vocabulary you're going to use, okay? So stay tuned for the next part. One interesting piece of addition to this topic is that, well, let us not forget that when we address such subjects as what to do in order to be good at work, or even what to do in order to get a job, let us not forget that the world changes constantly and faster and faster and faster, meaning that, for example, what would it take for you to be a good potential applicant for a job 20 years ago didn't change as much to, say, 15 years ago as it changed, like, when you compare 5 years ago and today. I don't know if I make my point clear here, but the world has been changing faster and faster, okay? So, of course, you have the main core of stuff, like working with people, being sociable, being up to date, being responsible in your working routine in general, punctual, respectful, and of course, ultimately good, or preferably very good, or even excellent at what you do. These things will never change. I mean, at least not so, they haven't changed, right? But lots of things have changed, like the way companies do their research for new people, and also the know-how necessary in companies, right? Let us just not forget that 20 years ago, lots of jobs existing 20 years ago simply do not exist anymore, and probably 10 years from now, lots of jobs existing today won't exist anymore. So this is the add I would like to make. Pay and benefits. Well, in this part, we're going to talk about how much money can you make, how much extra money can you make, or what kind of bonuses can you get depending on the companies you work, or the way you work, or how much you get to do good at your job. All right. So this first part here, we're going to read, and I'm going to read, you guys are going to listen to the statements of 3 employees, okay? Luigi, Ivan, and Catherine, about their work, benefits, pays, etc. Starting off with Luigi. My name is Luigi. I'm a hotel manager in Venice. I get paid a salary every month. In summer, we're very busy, so we work a lot of extra hours or overtime. The money for this is quite good. Working in a hotel, we also can get nice perks. For example, free meals. The word perk, P-E-R-K, is a synonym to bonus, okay? Now let's check what Ivan has to tell us. I'm Ivan, and I work as a waiter in Prague. I like my job even if I don't earn very much. Guys, the word earn, the verb earn is the verb you use to receive money, okay? So earn, or not only money, but being paid for something, okay? Literally or metaphorically, okay? I get paid wages every week by the restaurant. Though we get the minimum wage, that is the lowest amount allowed by law. But we also get tips, that is money that customers leave for us in addition to the bill. Some tourists are very generous. Now, Catherine. I'm Catherine. I'm a saleswoman based in Paris. I get a basic salary plus commission, a percentage on everything I sell. If I sell more than a particular amount in a year, I also get extra money. A bonus, which is nice. There are some good fringe benefits with this job. So what are fringe benefits? She's going to tell us right now. I get a company car and they make payments for my pension. That is the money that I'll get regularly after I stop working. All that makes a good benefits package. All right, guys. So she brings a couple of interesting points for us to analyze here. The first one is pension. Okay, the concept of retirement. Okay, so I assume that most people listening to this, to me right now, are from Brazil. Okay, one thing that it's very important to be said is that the laws operating concerning retirement vary from country to country. Okay, in America and UK, which are the main hubs of English, so to say. The rules for retirement are not exactly the same, okay? We're here in Brazil, we have a very strong, quote unquote, and present social pension fund, okay? Social pension, that is the part of the government responsible for, paying people after they stop working, putting in quite simple terms, okay? And of course we have private pensions, okay? Private pension funds. But I would say that, just out of my head here, something like, the majority of people in Brazil have and will continue having, although this number will probably drop in the next years, but will continue having being paid after they retire, that is, they stop working. They're gonna be paid by social pension, all right, not private pension funds, okay? Also, she mentions, this Catherine girl here mentions fringe benefits. What are fringe benefits? Pretty much what she described. She says she uses a company car, all right, and get these extra payments. So fringe benefits are extra pays that your company pays, or facilitation of things, like you can use the company's car, you can use the company's system or machine, or even have discounts in certain places in the market. All right, so this is what she means by fringe benefits. Compensation, part 1. My name is Alan. I'm a specialist in pay and benefits. Compensation and remuneration are formal words used to talk about pays and benefits, especially those of senior managers. Compensation package and remuneration package are used especially in the US, in the United States, to talk about all the pay and benefits that employees receive. For a senior executive, this may include share options, as they say in the British English, or stock option, as they say in American English. That is the right to buy the company's shares at low prices. Okay, this is my extra comment. Okay, don't confuse stock options here with the options that people buy and sell in the so-called future market. Okay, these are simple, although the principle is the same. That is, you have the right to buy stocks or shares from a specific company for a lower price. The idea is totally different, right? And the concept is totally different here. Okay, so stock options or share options here are simply when an employee of a certain company, which has the IPO, that is the initial public offer, putting in simpler terms, that have that sell their stocks, their shares in the stock exchange. Okay. And then now Alan continues. There may be performance-related bonuses if the manager reaches particular objectives for the company. Compensation Part 2. Compensation is also used to talk about money and other benefits that a senior manager or any employee receives if they are forced to leave the organization, perhaps after a boardroom row. Guys, boardroom row is pretty much like when directors, CEOs, and these people get together in a meeting, or maybe don't even have to do so much to fire people, or to decide that some people have to leave the company for any specific reasons. Okay, this money is in the form of a compensation payment or severance payment. Severance, because when you sever someone, it's like saying you fire someone from a company. If the manager also receives benefits, the payment and the benefits form a severance package. In Britain, executives with very high pay and good benefits may be referred to as fat cats, implying that they do not deserve this level of remuneration. All right, guys, just to close it up now, it's interesting to understand once you're working from a company, what benefits can you get, or why do you get paid what you get paid, right? Why your salary or wage, synonyms, okay, wage, salary, why you're paid that much, how much people in your area, in the same area, people who do the same you do in your company get paid. If some of them gets more, why, and also the benefits you can get, I would say that this all, you should totally pay attention to it before you start working from the company and not after, because this is something to take in consideration, right? Like having benefits and not having them, sometimes you're gonna get like really higher pays comparing in the market, right? But almost nothing, or sometimes not even one benefit, right? And quite usually the other way around. That is, you're gonna have a pattern, a average salary for your position, for what you do, for what you know, but pretty much in lots of or a considerable amount of perks, bonuses, benefits, you name them. Okay, and that's all for this episode. I wait for you in the next one. My name is Gary, and see you there. Bye-bye.